miatɔviawoe. Ke megagba internet egbelo. He meŋlɔ ɖe nyewo profile dzi be eʋeawo pete womedo to ile ife kpakple taɖo kpakple ŋɔtse o. Ke boŋ ame ɖewoe ya ɖewo deport woe tso Spain kple Portugal va West Africa. Ame ɖewo be yewo mase eme o lo. Ame ɖewo be alakpa ye lo. Ame ɖewo be yewo se kpɔ lo. Oh, miaƒe comment wele so entertaining.
According to the cosmographer and geographic printer of the king, along with additional references, the black Portuguese and Spanish Jews were placed on the west coast of Africa in great numbers. This next reference comes from John Ogilvie of London, who was the official cosmographer and geographic printer of King Charles. And it reads, many Jews also are scattered over this region, some natives boasting themselves of Abraham's seed, inhabiting both sides of the river Niger. Others are Asian strangers who fled thither either from the desolation of Jerusalem by Vespasian, or from Judea, wasted and depopulated by the Roman, Persians, Saracens, and Christians, or else such came out of Europe, whence they were banished out of parts of Italy in the year 1342, out of Spain in the year 1462, out of the Low Countries in 1350, out of France in 1403, out of England in 1422. These all differ in habit and are divided into several tribes, having no dominion, though both wealthy and numerous, but despised of all nations, and so abominated by the Turks that they are not permitted to be Mohammedans, unless first baptized, and then no otherwise made use of than to receive their customs and to gather their taxes. Skipping to the bottom paragraph, it reads, the idolaters are numerous in Negro land, Upper and Lower Ethiopia, and towards the great ocean, except, as we hinted before, some few who by the industry of the Portuguese and the Spain have been converted and baptized in several places. In case you're wondering, who are these black Jews living in the Niger River region on the west coast of Africa, we need look no further than another book authorized by the official cosmographer and geographic printer of King Charles himself. This comes from a book called America, An Accurate Description of the New World by John Ogilvie. On page 574, it reads that John III, King of Portugal, sent a colony thither above 200 years before, whom though the unwholesome air destroyed, yet the place was not left desolate. For he sent new inhabitants, who first settled Guinea, next in Angola, and lastly on the island of St. Thomas, that so they might be better used to the air. That the said king sold all those Jews for slaves that refused to embrace the Roman religion, and caused their children to be baptized, from whom coming thither in great numbers, most of the present inhabitants were descended. So according to John Ogilvie of London, the children of the Jews that refused to embrace the Roman religion were placed on the west coast of Africa in great numbers, most of which the present inhabitants were descended.
This depiction aligns with accounts of Jewish migrations to Africa, including the forced exile of Jews by King John II of Portugal in 1492. During this period, Jews were expelled to the island of São Tomé, discovered in 1471, as well as to other Portuguese settlements on the African continent.
King John II, in 1492, expelled all the Jews to the island of St. Thomas, which had been discovered in 1471. and to other Portuguese settlements on the continent of Africa. And from these banished Jews, the Black Portuguese, as they are called. Now, not only did Europeans refer to the Jews as black, Arabs also referred to the Jews as black.
Enya pete ko nyebedi. Enu kelele jo lefe akpedeka alafa ene bla asieke voeveme le Spain kple Portugal. Ema yiwo me Catholic hosea ono tibi akeketa le fima. Eye ope pope decree bela elebe ameketo pete homa ho yope Catholic ji hosea la no joda le yope fiadupe. Aha. Ope fia kple pope decree nomi oyo ebe edict. Ta ho decree nene mape decree. Enabe amegede ovati kakame. Viveto ameibo ketowehe meho Catholic ji hoseo. Aha. La mema odomela. Miakpo Muslim we pakpele Yuɖa towe. O wafuwa legbegbe. Muslim we ya yo si de North Africa. To Morocco kple dukemio mepete ta fimi kon yo vano. Gake Yuɖa towe ele fimi ya yo va hiha. Omega nyafike wa yo. Ta ovale amegbogbo de kode kluvi nyenyeme. O wafuwa megede. O ho pe nunu amesiwo lo si. Eye mlebala o lo eketowe hesusola o lowe de tojivume ya ovalowe po de West Africa feputa fiketo pete Portuguese towe o establish ope asicha fewele abe Elmina bakple Sao Tome. Aha bubu ade o chole nenema mi akwele screen eji ta o lowe po de fi opete hinge Yuɖa towe hinga meibowe. Aha. Ta enya pete mi. Eye eke mi wela. Ela bena. O dowebe unya meibowe. Eya nye gbanto. Evelia nyebe. Lefe 2011 medi. Over ku. Eyo dode. Mass grave. Le Portugal. Le tefedo oyobe. Lagos. Aha. Epe nko Lagos ke mi unko ya uchone Lagos. Le Nigeria. Portuguese we chonko mane efimie minyabe Lagos la evie wo le fimizan togbo be Yoruba towe ye le fimi evie wo sugbo de fimizan evie okle Yoruba towe la mi dokume yo ta le Lagos do me le Portugal la ova ku yodo gande he wa hodo ekwo we sekpo bere ne yokoda be ye kayi me ame gbogbo ke towo ku ova lo ko de fiena over kpobe emayi wo meye henye 1492 weme henye 15th century. Aha emayi wo meya Inquisition ejo he obe elebe amesia meneho Catholico jihose alo ne joda le fiadupe. Aha ta wo wa me gbogbo kemiwe kokode edo kemime mass grave.
Inquisition era African burials in Portugal, historical context and significance. The discovery. In 2009-2011, archaeologists excavated skeletons from a mass grave at Valongo do Castelo in Lagos, Portugal. These remains were found beneath what was once the town's Hospital Rio de Lagos, active in the 15th to 17th centuries. Strikingly, over 40% of the remains were identified as being of African ancestry, from West Africa. Radiocarbon dating places them roughly in the 15th, 17th centuries, corresponding with the transatlantic slave trade, the rise and enforcement of the Portuguese Inquisition, the conversion and persecution of Jews and Muslims, including black Jews and Moriscos, Africans in Portugal. During the Inquisition, by the 16th century, Portugal had the largest population of Africans in Europe. Estimates range from 10 to 15% of Lisbon's population. Africans arrived through slavery, the spice and gold trade, or as war captives, but also some as Jews or crypto-Jews. New Christians or conversos, many of Jewish or African Jewish descent, were forced to publicly adopt Catholicism or face expulsion, torture, or death. Some Africans buried in that mass grave may not have been slaves per se, but persecuted black Jews, Sephardic or of Israelite descent, living under threat from the Inquisition. Crypto-Jewish communities existed in Lagos, Lisbon, and Eʋe. The Inquisition records show numerous trials of people of African or mixed ancestry accused of Judaizing. Many Jewish refugees from Spain 1492 expulsion ended up in Portugal. Judaism in Africa predated European colonization. Jewish communities existed in Mali, Morocco, Ethiopia, Benin, and among Eve-related peoples.
So what do you test ne wedding? Ya ova kpobe ameke mi wela. O match kple West Africa towe. Ameke mi we hokpo le Portugal. Over DNA match kple West Africa towe. Eye le West Africa to domela. Oyo Yoruba towe be yowenye the closest match. Nuketa mebe wanye evie wenye be. Le mai umela unovie we chlende Yoruba to ume. Obe mi avie we minye Yoruba to pe subgroup. Aha, ta unovie we chlende Yoruba to ume. Lesi meme lebe ne nosigbo. Ke bon o lebe no chlen Yoruba to we de mi a we me. Elabe Yoruba nko Yoruba krachela nko ye menyo peblema nko emiu. Aha, yo wo che onye ebe pomie pakpade. Aha, ta eya ta megbolobe anye evie we unye. Elabe no wadi eni teste hobe Yoruba to we unye la. Ima iwo mela efiabe evie wo cheleme. Aha. Nyatowe. Efi mi selelo. Enyele chinemi. Eleme tu. Ta menye azoliko mi zova West Africa olo. Amede wele mi adomela no deport we cho Spain kple Portugal. Ema yiwo mela ame ibowo no Europe alegbegbe le ŋuti fafa me. Gake heji hose dewe subo dewe ova no anyi o chitre de ame ibowo pe de konuwe. Ha, ni kpofi kenya yire. History de mi me bonami. Yo, maune ira mi lo akpenami. Mede kuku mi kede nyo YouTube ji lo. Yonu fafia akpa ganto le YouTube ji. Da mede kuku mi kede nyo YouTube ji. Eya ekelele. Me wa video kaka la fadeka blav devo enyi begbe de YouTube ji. Ta mede kuku mi kede nyo YouTube ji mi a subscribe. Nu fafia nyo le YouTube ji la okata kude eviofe Israel vinyenye eviofe ngutinya. Wun ta mere kuku mi gede nyo YouTube jilo akpenami maune ira eve pomia kata.